Hello everybody and welcome to today's vlog. Now, as you can tell, we are running out of daylight and we're doing something completely different to what we've ever done before. Now, this is what you have to do as an animal owner. Sometimes you have to do little procedures on your animals because things can go wrong and you really need to sort it out to make sure it goes right again. So here on Madge's ear, she has a hematoma. And it's really sore for her, bless her. So she's probably been in the thickets, in the briars and brambles, and picked up something which has then gone into a large spot and caused a hematoma on her ear, which can get infected. It can be really nasty, but it's really simple to be able to treat, so that's what we're going to do today. I don't like it. We've got to shave the area. And we shave the area so we can see exactly what we're doing. Unfortunately, it's going to be awful because of the sheer amount of flies tonight, but we do have a way of treating that as well. So we're just going to get rid of all of the fur from around the outside of it, trying to be as gentle as possible because it'll be really sore for it. I know, darling. I know. And these are the smallest clippers I've got to be able to sort out this job. And it's not nice, I know, she's very good. I know. Steady girl, I know. The next job is we have to absolutely make sure that we alcohol the section that we're going to be treating. We want to make sure that everything we do is sterile, because we are in the middle of a field which is obviously where horses live, but not ideal for treatments. So I'm just going to give that a rub now. I know, sweetheart, I know. There we go. Give it a rub of alcohol. Perfect. And for everything else that I'm going to do now, I'm going to have to wear surgical gloves. Oh, this is to keep her safe and to keep me safe from whatever is in there. Right. The next step is going to be really squishy, so I'm not going to show it on camera. But what we have is a diabetic pincer. So this is completely sterile. The pin inside that is completely sterile, and it just means that it should go into the skin quite quickly, like a sharp burst, but we have to make sure that the horse is positioned where we're not going to get trampled as well. So I'm going to go to the other side and push around. Right, let's do this. Stabbed there, so if you can see, all of the pus now is coming out, which is vile, absolutely awful. And I've just got a fly that has flied into my eye. What I keep doing with this, because it is properly gross, is keep giving it a squirt of Lucillin just to try and make it as nice as possible for it, even though this whole thing will be awful. And so just keep gently squeezing. I know, Madge, I'm sorry. Right, I think that one's dead. Let's try another one. Good girl, I know. Oh, she's being very brave, even though I think she really wants to bite me right now. And even if we don't get it all out, even if we're not able to squirt it all out, the thing is, there's now an opening, so it can also drain in its own time, which is really important. But we'll just keep squirting and trying to get out as much as possible while she'll let us. But it'll be very sore. Poor girl, I know. I've never been a spot squasher, so this to me is absolutely awful. I absolutely loathe popping spots. When you've got animals, you've really got to do what's best by them. And as much as I'm phobic of popping spots, this really is the only way to make her better and make sure she doesn't get infected. So let's keep going around it and squeezing. And no, good girl. So there's loads more still coming out there. She's being ever so good, and as you can see, this whole area is deflating. We've got some antibiotics to give her as well for afterwards. All horse owners will tell you that they carry antibiotics just in case. But this lucilling stuff that we use is absolutely magical, and I recommend anybody with any pet buy it because it is just phenomenal. I think we're coming to the end here. I'm not sure how much is either left or how much she can stand. It does seem to be quite empty now. That does seem to be just ear tissue that's around the outside. So I'm going to give her a really good tidy up there. She's been so brave. Good girl. And this keeps the flies away as well, which is lovely. And then with it having the hole, hopefully it'll just keep draining out in its own time. But yeah, that's got everything that's in there now. There's nothing much left to go. Good girl. Right, and we'll keep you updated as to how that looks tomorrow. Please don't bite me. It's now the next day, so I just want to update you on everything that has been going on. So I obviously took the video of us expressing the area that is potentially a hematoma, and I've sent it over to a friend of mine who is currently studying to be a vet, and they have said that yes, it does look like it is a hematoma because it's not just red blood, it is a pussy substance. It's quite thick, it's quite gloopy, and it is obviously mixed in with something that is a bit nasty as well, which is a bit gunky, which makes it sound like a hematoma. However, when it was expressed, one of the things that was quite resounding is that there was still a lump, a very solid lump. Now again, that can still be a hematoma very easily, and one of the things, especially in dogs, that hematomas are known for is that they can leave something like a cauliflower ear or a cabbage ear, where the two layers, because you've got two different films that go together and the blood usually collects on the inside of that, it can leave lumpy bumpy marks. And again, that can, you know, very similar to what you get in rugby players where they have those damaged ears that are never really the same again or the same shape. So yes, it can still be a hematoma. However, we are also considering the fact that it could be a sarcoid. Now, a sarcoid are usually caused by internal problems to a horse, which is very normal in a 35-year-old, like what Madge is. Also in bigger breeds as well. Now, she's a Percheron cross cob, so it is very likely, and there isn't really much you can do for a sarcoid, especially at 35. There is no way I would put that beautiful girl through any treatment at all. Not invasive treatment. If it was non-invasive, then absolutely, but absolutely no invasive treatment at 35 years old. So I'm just on my way now to the field. We're going to have a look and see what we can see. And I must say, being an animal owner is just one thing after another thing. You have to have a stomach made of steel to be able to get through these little episodes that you have to go through. You need to know a little bit of veterinary skills, you need to know a little bit of chemistry to know what antibiotics to put together with what painkiller to be able to help, and you also need to not be that squeamish when it comes to horses and dogs. Oh, it's been horrible squeezing that spot, bless her. So yeah, one of the things I do want to ask though, if you have any experience in this, you've clearly seen the video beforehand, what are your thoughts? Do you think it's a hematoma, or do you think it could be something completely different like a sarcoid? Do let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And now let's go and see how Madge is doing 24 hours after what we did. So fingers crossed. We are today with her. Let's have a look how she's doing. Oh, it's She's looking a bit sore, a bit poorly. Oh, it's not nice, is it, darling? And her ear's gone a bit warm, so we're going to have to get some more antibiotics in her, bless her. With some antiseptic, like what we did yesterday, give her a good spray, and it's not nice for her, bless her. She's an old girl and she really doesn't want messing with, but it's the best thing that we can do to help her. Oh, good girl. Good girl. That's it. Good girl. Oh, she's clever. Right, we'll use the next one now as well. I should actually have gloves on for this. I never actually thought to put another pair in. And then we'll give her a feed with her antibiotics in. But I am absolutely thinking now, due to the shape more than anything, that is actually a sarcoid. But I'll send everything over to the vets and see what they have to say for the next course of treatment. Good girl. She's so good. So, to all of you equestrians out there, I ask you this. Have you ever come across this before? And if so, what was the treatment? What did you treat it with? Have you ever come across sarcoids before? Especially in older horses. Remember, Madge is 35. I am not going to do anything invasive to her at that age. But do you know of any other treatments? What's worked for you? Answer below, down there in the comment section, and I promise I will read and respond to every single one of them. Thank you so much for watching. We upload every Thursday, and I will do an update on this because now I am going to get the vet involved as well. A little bit more than sending photographs over the telephone. I will try and find out exactly what to do and how to treat this properly. Take care. Bye bye.